Alright, so I apologize for the little late video here. So, I know I'm new pretty much. I'm not exactly the most well known, so this is my first video on this YouTube channel. Sorry if you hear my grandmother in the background. So, I'm just gonna make a little quick tutorial. Not quick, because I yap too much, but something of a tutorial to be made with the fact that, about copying, tracing, and referencing. So I am an artist. I'm not a professional. I am an intermediate, lower intermediate, because I have been drawing lions, and that's the only thing I genuinely draw. I am a part of the TOK community. It's a well-known community. TOK means the Lion King. I draw lions. I've always been a fan of that. I have been drawing lions since I was little, about 4th, maybe 3rd grade. Earliest probably would be 3rd grade to 10th grade, which where I'm at currently, about to be a junior. So I've been doing it for most of my life. So today, because I'm gonna just kind of teach newer artists about the difference between copying, referencing, and tracing. So we're gonna get started with the more easier one. So I had this little drawing. Not the best, just a little bit of a little headshot practice, but we may use we're gonna use a excuse me, hold on. We're gonna use a good example about what tracing is. So people have the misconception that tracing is copying, and it is. It is a copying technique where you trace a certain art piece and make it your own, but people sometimes think that copying is tracing, and copying is not tracing all the time. Copying can mean different reasons. Copying a design, for one. So I'll give you one of my OCs. Sorry, there's like a little white line here. So we're gonna go ahead and use Sekekama, which is my main OC for right now. He has some. I have some other OCs coming out from the same artist, so she's going to be making them, and then I'll draw them in my own style. But we have similar art styles, and she's one of my good friends. So, we may use, we're going to use this guy. He's Sekekama. He's, this one I just drew today, by the way, so. I have another one coming out. I have a art page, by the way. This is, we're going to clear that. So, this is Sekekama. So, this is tracing, which we're just going to do this, sorry. So tracing is a matter of tracing the picture, or tracing the line art. And so if I go here, I'm going to do this, right? This would be tracing. You can see my layers where I just start drawing over the line, trying to recreate this. That is tracing. Definitely more of a fact where it's not exactly the greatest way. So some artists, which I don't allow personally, if you look on my art page on Instagram, I don't allow anybody to copy nor trace my drawings. There is a huge reason for that. For newer beginner artists, the one thing that I can say, because I've done it too, is that we want to be good right away when we know it takes practice and time to do these things. It took me 7 years to get here, to where I can at least have a proper face a little bit. And even though the eyes are wonky still, the anatomy's not the greatest, I think my manes are the greatest thing in my lions. I have some pretty sick mane designs. So yeah. So pretty much that would be one of them. And Sekekama is one of my greatest OCs I have. So please do not be like, I don't know, please don't be stupid and start copying him. For the love of God, for the love of me, please. Because Sekekama is one of my favorite drawings, and he is my favorite character for right now. So this is tracing, where I go over the picture, I go over the drawing, and I start copying the line art. And then I do whatever I want with that, either by editing it to make it look different, even though it's not my art, which this is my art, by the way, or I do something with it that is not necessarily mine. Some artists will allow you to trace. bases for one. So a base is where they just draw a sketch of the lion or a person, and you can use that to make your character. So that is different. But this is a character that I've drawn, and this is a character that speaks so close to my heart. So if anyone were to trace this, I could definitely take some action on that. So that's pretty much what tracing is. Some artists, if you talk to them personally, will tell you if it's okay or not okay to trace their art. And it's okay. I will say this. Let's say you take a picture, an art piece from a popular TOK artist or any artist, and you trace it on your own time, but don't post it, or you don't claim the character as yours or the drawing as yours initially. That's fine. Sometimes I trace as well. My own drawings even. What I'll do is that I'll take a picture of my traditional art, which I also do, and draw that on digital. I'll trace my traditional art to make the digital art, which I can show you an example of that, which will be, this is the sekekama art, where I actually traced this. I traced this drawing with my I traced the traditional with my, and made it digital. So that's perfectly fine. But if I go ahead and take a good art piece from somebody, from a different artist other than me, that is tracing, and that's not right. Unless the artist, or you trace their art but you don't post it. I would rather you trace art to practice your anatomy, for you to do it on your own, than claim the whole art in general as yours. So that is tracing. Now copying is, so let's say somebody like, so this is sekekama. We're going to delete this because I don't need it. So copying is a little different. I'm going to have to select this and delete it because I don't need it, right? So if someone, sorry, this is a little bit different. This is a different one. Let's say if I did this, which is weird. Oh, look at that. I can do that. Okay. It's to give me the weird thing. Hold on. Let me fix that real quick. If someone were to copy my design, so this is a little bit different. So it doesn't even have to be colors, because colors is a little bit wonky. It's like saying you're copying someone's art style. You can't copy an art style. You can adapt an art style, but you can't copy it per se. Unless if you copy the person drawing just like that, like tracing it, then that's different. But you can't copy the art style. So no one can really replicate my art style. There's designs or art styles similar to mine, but it's not copying my art style. Colors is a little bit different though. This is Sekekama's colors. I didn't draw Sekekama initially, but it's mine. I bought it. So pretty much this is him. And he is pretty much my main OC. So if anyone were to draw some lion and copy his colors and give him a man bun, that would be copying. You don't have to trace my character to make it copying. You could even just draw Sekekama in your own art style, and I'd see that, and I'd be like, that looks a lot like Sekekama, you know, with his little blue eyes and his beard and the little triangle on his head, you know, his mane, his everything. If you decided to do that, that is copying not just my character, but the design. And so that is also wrong. You can't copy someone's character. It's not your character, especially if they bought that character. Unless they give the character to you, which is different. Sorry, I need to take a drink. So that is the difference between copying a character and tracing one. Tracing is just copying my drawing, this certain drawing in general, and doing whatever with it. Copying a design is making my character and claiming it as your own. That is copying, which I would actually say that's even worse, but yeah, so I wouldn't do that either. First off, I was not the only artist to work on this design. I added some things from the original. I added the beard. I added the little things right here, the braids a little bit on his hair. I added these. I added, I think, some other things. I added a lot of hair to his body, more than she did, the original artist. But this is my character, so I didn't change much. So that's the only thing, you know? I didn't change much from his design. So that's the thing. So if anyone did design, oh, I also added these things. Or did she add them? I don't know. I don't remember. But multiple artists work on this character. Because I had a breedable, and they had a breedable open. So I had one of my own OCs that I bought. did that, they combined the two, and this is that. So that's it. So now we're going to go to the easier one, which would be referencing. So here's a good thing of referencing. So this is my character again. I know it's kind of pixely, but this is a character. I drew him as well. And then this is the other one I'm making now, which is Sekekama again. Oh, I forgot his beard. Oh, I should draw that. So this is referencing. I am perfectly okay with referencing. Especially if you're drawing something for someone, like let's say they're drawing my character, they're drawing Sekekama for me, like a little bit of a gift, because a lot of people in the TOK community like to draw each other's OCs for gifts. Then that's pretty much fine too. As long as they're not taking the character and making it theirs in any way, shape, or form. So this is the full body. It's like I said, he has a lot of hair. The anatomy on this leg isn't the greatest though, so I'm gonna have to change that some way, some form. But definitely hard work on the artist and me. I work very hard on my art. Very, very hard. So this is referencing. I'm referencing this not to just get his full body, but to make sure I get the hairs right. Oh, I forgot there's also another one. See, so he has 3. See, so I kind of need to see that in order to do that. And that's pretty much that. So pretty much he's really big. He's a really big lion. Barbary and something else. And he's very angry. He's not the greatest right now. So he's not the most friendly. That's weird. So pretty much that's it. So pretty much that's all you really can do. Some advice to beginner artists. We all want to be good at something the first try. This can be anything with musical instruments, with cooking, with art, with anything. But every one of those things take time. And the thing is that people have the often misconception that art, music, cooking, or anything that takes practice can be mastered. And that's not true. You will always learn something. I know some great TOK artists that learn something new every day about their art, whether that be the anatomy or even just the colors or even about their OCs in general that they want to change. So, I mean, this could be really shitty, like 2 years later. I could be like the greatest at my peak and this would be looking like shit. But for right now, I'm actually pretty proud of this drawing. And that's what matters. You know, I'll show you some really bad ones. I don't have them on this tablet, but I have some on my phone. And this is what it is. So this is Prime membership, I don't care. So pretty much, let's say this one, right? Bad anatomy. Look at the face. The face is not the greatest. Where is his head at? His head is really, really big. And, you know, it's like... It's really, you know, it's sorry, my phone is buzzing and distracting me. This is the head that I used to do. This was in, I don't even know when this was. I think in December. December. But then look at my art now. So pretty much it could be because I switched devices, either one. But this is way better than this one. And so I was really proud of this one. I was also proud of this one a little bit. I was proud of this one. I was proud of this one. I was proud of that one. That one. I was proud of a lot of things. I was gonna make that one. I never finished that one. I will say something. This is Atreus, so this is one of the other ones. See, the thing is that, you know, it's gonna be a little bit harder, you know? This is Atreus again, you know? So that's the thing. You know, you have to be... the anatomy sucks still. Well, this one sucks a little bit too, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn. So that's the thing. You know, it's gonna be, you know, his belly's actually a lot smaller than that, so I mean, I might need to change that a little bit, because his belly's more muscular than fat. So that's the thing, you know, you have to be careful. So that's the thing. Sorry I'm saying that's the thing a lot. So, yeah. Don't be discouraged for not being good at the first moment you draw. Like I said, I have way worse drawings that I did on my phone. And I hope that this, you know, this changed a lot. I mean, if you see, like, even the facial expression, you know, like, look at the eyes, and then look at the head, and then look at his head. I mean, it's a lot better. It's a lot cleaner, you know? So I'm proud of myself of how far I came. I have, like I said, I will say it again, I have worse drawings, and I look at them and I cringe. And that's going to happen. I'm going to look at this in, like, a month, maybe even the end by this year, and I'm gonna look at this and I'm like, ew, you know. So be careful. Don't always think that because you can't get it the first try doesn't mean that you're never gonna get it. And if art really isn't your thing, let's say you don't like lions anymore. I could just totally switch to like tigers or something. Then learn about tigers. The anatomy is hard to learn. People think that animals are really easy to draw, and they're not. So please don't ever overestimate yourself either, but don't underestimate yourself. Always try to look at it in humble and the bright side of life. And one day you will, well, you may be way better than me, which probably are. So don't ever feel like you have to be perfect. And that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much the difference between copying, referencing, and tracing. I will probably explain it in more in depth later, but for right now, this is going to be pretty short, maybe 10 minutes. Learn about it, learn about what you can do, and also talk to your artists. If you're in a certain community, like anime even, ask people that are artists there and explain and ask them if they choose to explain to you how to draw them. There may not be masters, but they can probably teach you a thing or two to make sure that maybe they can help you learn faster than they did. So if you have any questions, write me in the comments. I'll also put my Instagram and my Discord there, so you can ask me like, hey, I'm having trouble with this. How do I do this? And if I don't have the answer, I can give you to people who will answer you and who are way better than me. So please don't ever hesitate to ask me what I can do about my drawing. How do I make hair? I'm probably the best to ask about hair. Not the best, but the best thing I can do is hair. So if you need to be like, hey, my mane is not very wavy or it's not very curly, how can I change that? Then I can probably say, okay, do this, everything, I could probably do that. So please don't ever hesitate to ask me about what you can do to change your drawing. Like I said, art is never going to be mastered, and if it was, art would be boring and there would be nothing to gain out of it. Anything that is not masterable, you always have something to learn, and I think that's the funnest part. So remember, don't ever underestimate yourself. You can always do what you put your mind to. And thank you.